Je ne veux pas travailler, je ne veux pas déjeuner, je veux seulement oublier et puis je fume. Déjà j'ai connu le parfum de l'amour, 1 million de roses n'embâmerait pas autant. Maintenant une seule fleur dans mes entourages me rend malade. Je ne veux pas travailler, je ne veux pas déjeuner.
Bayview Hunters Point is in a part of the city where we have the largest percentage of students who live in public housing, the largest percentage of students who are foster children, the largest percentage of students who are raised by single parents and grandparents. To think beyond that, to think global in terms of going to 2 other continents is totally incredible.
Big and very hot and busy, very busy.
Bayview, it don't get really hot. Sometimes. I just can't explain it.
Have you ever been on a plane?
No.
What's the farthest you've ever went away from home?
Los Angeles.
Have you ever been on a plane before?
No,
Never?
never.
What's the farthest away from home you've ever been?
Nevada.
What do you think of this camera?
Nervous.
You have been on a plane. Where did you go?
To Mississippi?
Do you have family in Mississippi?
Yeah.
You excited to go to Africa?
Yeah.
You been learning about it at all?
Mhm.
What have you learned?
A lot of stuff.
Anything you want to share?
No.
No?
Au revoir, San Francisco.
Let me speak from my experience because I'm from Bayview and I'm an artist and I was once one of those kids. I went to Chartruesse. I think that for the most part, going to Africa was pretty important because I think they got to see people that look like them and their relatives communicate, deal with on a very positive level, on a creative level. I think they met entrepreneurs, I think they met doctors, I think they met congressmen, they saw pictures of people of importance that looked like them. So the fact that they were there on their merits, on their art, and the fact that they earned it, it made a big difference. And I think they felt that.
And I just was thrilled when we left the d'Orsay, which is the first museum experience that these kids have had. We had hoped to take them in San Francisco, but didn't have time. So we were walking from the d'Orsay to the Louvre, and Venetia said to me, "Miss Heidi, I want to paint. Right now!" He said, "Let's paint." And one of the other girls chimed in and said, "Me too." It was Sierra. So that was, for me, really special.
Okay, so today we're on Goree Island. What do you think that you might want to learn or know here on Goree Island? Benicia?
I would like to know what it was like to be a slave on Glory Island. And
Okay, you'd like to know
the
what
history about it.
Okay, you'd like to know the history about it. Anyone else want to know something else? Do you have a question about slavery that you think might be answered here today? Yes.
Now why that they had to keep the slaves here instead of putting them somewhere else?
Okay, all right. Anyone else have another question? Okay, so you want to know why they were put here instead of someplace else? And what was your question, Benicia? You want to know the history, right? Stacy?
I want to know, like, why did some people want slaves in the first place?
Why did some people want slaves in the first place? Okay.
États-Unis, les Africains-Américains sont sous des noms anglais.
And in the state, the African-American, the slaves, especially, took their slave master's name, English name.
Brésil portugais.
Brazil's Portuguese name.
Cuba espagnol.
And Cuba is Spanish
Haïti,
name.
anti-français, français.
And in Haiti, French name.
Alors le couloir conduisait vers ce que nous
And
appelons
the
la porte.
corridor leads to the door of no
La
return.
porte du retour sans retour.
This is the door of no return.
Okay, we're back, and earlier there were 3 questions that you wanted to know more about slavery. One of them was your question, Stacy. What was it?
Why did they want slavery in the first place?
And did you find the answer to your question?
No.
What I liked best about Dakar was Gory Island.
How come?
Because it reminded me of Angel Island. Because Angel Island had immigrants, which means people who came from different places, and Gory Island had immigrants. African Americans came there, and Dutch, Portuguese, and the Europeans.
When I first got to the car, I really thought that there wasn't going to be like any electricity, but I was really shocked when I knew that there was, but it wasn't really that good. But I was really shocked that there was, first of all. And I thought Africa was going to be like a hot place, so like if you were going around the corner, you would pass out. Now that I've been here, Africa is a different place for me, and like if I would live here, I would enjoy it so much.
I would tell them that Dakar is like a desert in some ways, and Paris is beautiful.
That I saw the Mona Lisa. I saw baby Jesus and Mary.
I like the Eiffel Tower, and I like the hotel that we're staying in. I like the parks.
Did you like Gory Island?
Oh, Gory Island, yes, I liked it a lot. It told more about our history than what we already knew.
The exciting thing is when we arrived in Senegal, the children started to speak French immediately at the airport. First with the customs officers, the police officers, the drivers, and when they met Madame Senghor, they all came up to her and spoke to her in French. She was surprised. She was pleasantly surprised. I was not, because I know they were ready. We worked for 12 weeks. You have visited our class a few times, so they knew how to greet people in Senegal, greet people in France, and a few of them were able to help their parents even through their shopping trips in some of the villages in Gorée and here in Paris. So apparently they got good deals by speaking good French.
Je m'appelle Shelley Bradford Bell, and we're standing in front of an art sculpture on the beach in Senegal that's very reminiscent and symbolic of the Twin Towers that collapsed on September 11th, which ironically and spiritually is the reason that brought us here to Senegal in the first place. Because after the collapse of the Twin Towers, some of our young people had miseducation or misinformation regarding Muslim religions. And here we are with Islamic religions all around us. And symbolically on a beach as peaceful as this in Senegal, we see the Twin Towers. So for me, this is very symbolic of the reason we started this journey in the first place. Here we are.
I think that the experience will touch their lives in different ways at different times. I would think that when they're in 5th grade and they have to reflect on what was the most memorable thing that you've done in elementary school to come up. When they get into middle school and they have to study world history, it'll come up again. And I'm sure in college at some point it will happen. And I would think even as an adult, when they pick up a book and read it, or look at a newspaper, or have children or grandchildren, that this will become part of their oral history.
Wake up, stand up, Africa. Gëmal sa bopp, gëm li nga doon. Lu bare nga am, lu bare nga mën, mënuloo noppi ni. Imagine is your wealth. Imagine how your dreams. Sa kër ci yaatu na, say tere histoire, mënula reere ni. Say way ak say fecc, teranga say doom, mënula reere ni. Imagine is your wealth.